Good afternoon, and welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to our Stranded Forever modded Minecraft Let's Play series. So, I want to start off by saying I hope you all had a wonderful, wonderful Christmas. Mine was pretty busy, but very, very good. I still have some mobs popping in here every once in a while to say hello, but it's not too bad. There's no F7, so you kind of just have to fly around with like... your F3 up and like look for light levels on blocks and all that stuff. But anyways, I want to go ahead and say I've brought it up to Sheridan and told him and everything about the issue, but I don't know if any of you guys are having the same issue as me, but I've had a major issue with vanishing things. Like, absolutely horrible issue with things vanishing lately. Which I'm gonna push on and try to persevere through it while he tries to get that fixed. It may honestly come down to where I hop into creative mode to replace the things. I haven't yet, but if it keeps happening, and it seems to be getting worse and worse as time goes on, so I may end up down the road hopping into creative and putting my blocks back in because they just keep vanishing and it's driving me insane. Luckily my reactor hasn't vanished yet, but you'll notice I used to have 3 blast furnaces right here, and they were probably about halfway filled with steel, and they had some other iron in there converting and some coal coke and everything like that. And I was working, and like I didn't even log off. There was no crash or anything like that. I was just back in here digging and working and doing stuff. I came out here because my pick had taking a bit of damage. Ecological wasn't keeping up with it. I did make a pick here. It's got ecological, momentum, petromorph, and anyways, I went to repair it just because I'd been doing so much digging, and they had just vanished. Like, just poof, they're gone. And so I was like, okay. And I've been having the same issue with my hammers. Back in the ore processing area, if you recall, I mentioned that there was a couple hammers here. I don't know, in the world download, I don't know if you guys got the hammers there, but there was 2 hammers there. Well, they vanished, and I ended up replacing them, and they vanished again, and then I replaced them again, and they vanished again. So I was just like, okay, whatever. Not even adding them back, because what would happen was this would get backed up, basically because this compressor is retarded, and it would just fill this thing with like crushed tin on this side and stuff. It's all wonky. Also, my conduits have randomly been vanishing, like the one that had the filter that I added for the aluminide. I've replaced that filter and that conduit probably 7 or 8 times, and it just keeps vanishing. It's driving me insane, because of course it will eventually back up the system and everything like that. Also even things in chests, before I forget, those have been vanishing. Earlier I was crafting up a bunch of seared bricks from Tinker's Construct, and I just threw them all in a chest because I was gonna get ready to move over the smelter and everything like that. And I was debating between putting it down here and up there. I was just kind of working with the idea. And anyway, so I went back to get the seared bricks a little bit later, and they had all vanished. So the clay, oddly enough, the clay that I used to craft them got put back into the chest, but they had just uncrafted themselves or whatever, like from seared bricks through grout back to just basic materials. So I don't even know. By the way, in here I've got a... Okay, well, I used to have a witch water set up, but that's gone too. Basically, I just filtered all of these to have witch water on the whitelist filter and water on the output, or the input filter is water and the output is witch water. And basically, a lot of stuff vanished. It was basically, let's see, 2 barrels, conduits. You can even see where the conduit's still like trying to connect down here, but it's just vanished. And all the mycelium is gone. The mycelium ran down to like right here, and there was 2 barrels. Conduit is bringing it over, and there was also a drum sitting here. It was probably pretty close to being filled with witch water, because that was actually filling up super quick, and now it's all gone. So I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on. But anyway, it's been randomly occurring, and it's kind of driving me insane, to say the least. So if any of you guys are having the same issue as me, do let me know, and I'll let Sheridan know, or you can let Sheridan know yourself. That's fine. But it's hard to really be like, Sheridan, here's the problem, because I have no crash logs. I have, it's not crashing or anything. It just randomly happens somewhere in the process of doing things. It just, pew, there goes your stuff. So it's been interesting. Yeah, so I also had a similar issue with machine chassis. They duplicated in my inventory earlier. I'd crafted, what was it, like 3? Yeah, I'd crafted 3 because it was what I was going to use today, or planning on using today, and they duplicated into 6 on like, which I guess that's not as bad of a bug, because it just kind of helped me, I guess. But yeah, I've been having some issues with that as well. So I'm not entirely sure what version of the base you guys got in the world upload, but if there's any issues or whatever, I apologize. But I did go ahead and crafted up a slice and splice and a soul binder. And there was a quest for this. It's all standard crafting or whatever, right here, and you can get, I chose the basic item filter. I don't really feel like the energy conduit. One energy conduit is probably one of the worst rewards at this point, because you're already a decent ways into IO before you get to this, and 3 silicon is terrible. 64 conduit binder, meh. So basic item filter is definitely the reward that I would suggest on that. But anyways, and I did go out and capture the Endermen. And we've got actually some heads here, some spear heads. But I want to get into actually moving around power around the base, as well as actually make a powered spawner, because that would definitely help us out moving forward. I wonder why I'm getting so hot. Okay, so we should be all set to get this stuff crafted. I'm going to go ahead and get the Z-Logic controller. Or is it not Z-Logic? Yeah, it is Z-Logic. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and get that cooking up really, really quick. So in the slice and splice, we'll go ahead and throw our axe and our shears into there. And then let's go ahead and give it our zombie head, silicon redstone, and solarium. And we'll let that start crafting up. And then in addition, we're going to need a couple of these vibrant crystals, which are just vibrant alloy nuggets and emeralds. So not a problem. Here is our powered spawner. Now, of course, it does start out empty. We're going to need to get ourselves a spawner to use. And we've got some broken spawners from the town. So we're just going to use one of those, and then we're going to need to use our soul binder. So this is going to take some XP. I can't recall how much it's going to take off the top of my head. But we'll throw in our Enderman soul and our broken spawner, and it's going to use 8 levels. Now before we do that, let's go ahead actually and make ourselves an experience obelisk. Because 8 levels, it could be cheaper, if we used just 8 levels instead of 8 levels from 30. Let's get this and that. There we go. I guess it's actually good that it doubled my machine chassis. I was like, well, I could throw those away, but then it's like, no, it's been stealing my stuff forever. So no, I'm not giving it. I'm not throwing them away. Let's go ahead. We'll put it just in here in the bedroom, and then we can just go ahead and take the 8 levels that we need. And you'll notice we still have 29 levels in there, because 29 to 30 is a lot more expensive on XP than like 0 to 8, So we'll go ahead and say use our experience, and that's going to start crafting. And if you haven't seen it, it does have a really cool effect in 1.10 where it kind of like spins around. Really, really neat stuff. But anyways, while that's crafting, let's go ahead and get ourselves an anvil. And honestly, that will that will take a bit of time to craft. So, but I will go ahead and say that long term, I don't think, I've got to do some testing with it and everything, but I don't think that our long-term power or long-term mob farms are going to be with Ender.io. Because I was debating, and honestly, this pack has soul shards. So we're probably going to get into soul shards very, very soon. But in addition, this pack also has Woot. And if you've never played with Woot, Woot is a ton of fun. Basically, it is a mob spawner system where you don't actually spawn the mobs. It's really, really cool. Now, it does require power and everything, but we'll get into that mod fairly soon. And there's a lot of different upgrades that you can add on to it and everything. So, I'm definitely looking forward to that mod. It is a ton of fun to play with. Now, in addition to that, I also want to look at the dimensional transceivers. So I also want to get into auto farms, auto farming stations from Ender.io as well. But first and foremost, I want to get this power from this reactor moving, because, you know, where we left off last episode, we can't really get our power out and about, and you know, we definitely need to get that sorted, so that way I can start setting up AE and all that good stuff. So for this, we're just going to need some fused quartz, an ender crystal, which this thing, it does require another Enderman soul vial and vibrant crystal. So anyways, I'm looking for another soul vial, or another Enderman to throw in this soul vial. So that's what we're doing right now. And we have discovered him. There we go. It's really, really easy to get Enderman at this point. So, by the way, that area, I'll show you on the inside. That's just cobble right now. Somewhere I was working before. And originally I was digging it out and I was like, oh, this is going to be a mob farm. Yeah. But then I realized, like, oh, wait, there's Woot in this pack. So I don't know for sure. We're actually probably going to use it for like some sort of a tree farm. But it's just an empty room right now. So anyway, I don't know why this thing's like bugged. It's still making the noise, but we'll throw our vibrant crystal into there with our Enderman soul vial and use our XP. And then also we've got our Enderman spawner. So what we can do is we can combine it with our powered spawner. It does require 16 levels. That's not a problem. So let's go ahead and get that combined. And there is our powered spawner. And then this is already done. So we'll get our ender crystal. And we're also going to need an ender resonator. This just takes some solarium, silicon. Do I have any solarium left? Okay, no. Let me go make some more solarium. Which, by the way, is just soul sand and gold. So not too big of an issue. Alright, by the way, for right now, I'm just going to put the powered spawner, like, right here. And I'm just going to throw a lever on it. And we'll say, you turn on with a signal. That's what we're going to do. By the way, this is driving me insane. Oh my god, are you kidding me? It's just broken. It's making the sound forever. Okay, maybe after I relog or something, that'll fix it. But anyways, let's go ahead and throw our Enderman head in here. Vibrant alloy. There we go. And that's running. And it's off. Oh my god, that is so obnoxious. Alright, so there's our Ender resonator. And, you know, I'd given it some thought, like maybe all my issues are related to Ender.io, but it can't be the case because my blast furnaces from Immersive Engineering disappeared as well. And they had no conduits or anything connecting them up, so at the moment anyway. We're going to need... My inventory is getting terrible already. I might make a backpack, actually, you think? That'd probably be a good idea. Actually, I need to double all this stuff because I'm going to need another dimensional transceiver. Okay, so I'm gonna make a bag of holding. Why did that go over there? Basically, it's probably the best backpack option since iron backpacks is not in the mod. And we are going to need some leather, and because we're gonna have to make a bookshelf. One thing that we can do is just use rabbit hide, and we're gonna want 2 pieces of leather. Now, we could also use patterns if you wanted to, but I kind of just want to show that you can do this and bring it to your attention if you didn't know. So basically what you can do is you can take 2 flint and put them together like this to create a sharpening stone from Better with Mods. And then let's get just a piece of iron, and we'll throw this together with our sharpening stone. I think it's, there we go. That creates a knife blade. And then what we need is a stick. And you can add that stick with the knife blade, and you're going to get yourself an iron knife. And you can actually use this for combat and whatnot if you want to. It's just a little dinky knife. But what you can do is you can take it with your leather, and you can make this cut leather. And you get 2 pieces per leather. And then what we can do, of course, is make our books with this cut leather. So it's a way to double your leather. And it actually works with the majority of the recipes and stuff. So it is, it is something nice to keep in mind. Of course, books, you can technically use wood to make those if you want to, with the blank patterns. But if you do have anything that requires leather, this is an option. So, and by the way, this bag of holding does require 4 levels. So make sure that you've got 4 levels. If it's not crafting, that's probably the reason why. So there's our magical wood, and there's our bag of holding. This is one of my favorite bags aside from iron backpacks, just because it's got a lot of slots and it's fairly reasonable to craft it. So we can throw our, some of our things in here. I'm not going to go too crazy with it, and I tend to just craft these like a stack at a time now that we're at this point, because it's, it's not really that expensive. Let's go ahead and get 2 of those. I'm going to have to make some more, like everything. There's that. There's our octadic capacitor, and then we can get our dimensional transceiver. And let me go, I've got to double that, basically, because we need 2 of these to actually make them useful. So, now what we can do, if we want to, is we can actually get our Enderman souls from this spawner now. Which I'm not going to go, oh my god, I'm not going to go too crazy with this spawner. At first I was planning on doing a little bit of a setup with a Killer Joe, with an Ender, because you can splice the Endermen so they don't teleport with the Ender sword. But then that was before I realized Woot was in the pack, so I'm not even going to worry about setting this up too crazy just yet. I will say that we will probably implement a soul shard farm and a soul shard farm, and probably cursed earth as well. Oh my god, do they all attack me? Really? Okay, let me go get my stuff back. Alright, we're going to try this again. I threw on my armor. I didn't think all of them were going to attack me, but they do. That is an interesting development that I did not expect. I mean, I guess we could capture them, and we could have captured 2 of them had I known that. I was just going to kill a few of these because, I only really need to capture 1 of them. So, but yeah, so that's good to know. Enderman will attack you en masse. En masse. Whenever you mess with 1 of them. So just keep that in mind. Well, hi, the soul binder stopped making noise, so that's a plus. But anyways, let's go ahead. We can just set this up, put it like right here. And then what we can do is we'll set up a channel. Sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. And this one is energy, basically. And we're going to say that this is ore processing power. And we're going to add the channel. We're going to say ore room energy. So we're going to add the channel. And we're going to say if we want it to send or receive energy on this channel. So we're going to say you're going to send energy on the ore room energy channel. Is what we want. Because we don't, it's not going to be receiving power from there. But, and, we can also do items and all that stuff. We can do filters and so on, but we just want power for right now. And then we can come over here and we can do the exact same thing. So we'll plug this one up like right here, and we're going to say that you receive energy on the ore room energy channel. And so now it should be draining this out, and we should be able to plug all of these up. And let me go grab the rest of my energy conduits. But we should start being able to plug those up, because that reactor should be pulling enough power. Long term, which honestly now we're at the point where ender pearls really aren't going to be an issue. I know it's a manual grind right now, but we tend to get about 2 pearls per kill. So realistically, I'm not terribly concerned with the ender pearl costs anymore. So we may be doing a bit more with those moving forward. Now, like I said, we are going to automate that. I'm not going to keep it manual, but with the fact that there's Woot, we're going to get into Woot as soon as we have an AE system, because there's a lot of like, it's kind of that tier system. So you have a lot of like just multitudinous crafting. So it's like craft a bunch of these and combine them together to make these, and combine those together to make these. Like it's a whole lot of that. That's why I decided to wait and put it off as far as getting onto it, because I want to get into applied energistics and get into auto crafting and all of that stuff before we get started with Woot. And then once we have that stuff in place, that will be our next step, is getting into Woot. So next episode we will probably be starting applied energistics, honestly. And that's going to go into this room here. Another thing that I want to get into very, very soon is a cobbleworks, but I feel like I can put it off, a bit longer, in favor of getting the mob spawner with Woot, or the mob grinder, I guess, with Woot. It doesn't actually spawn the mobs. You'll see once we get into it, but I feel like I could put it off in favor of Woot and applied energistics, and then get into the cobbleworks after that down the road. So I think that's our like upcoming goals anyway. Is setting something up like that. Now, what I might do, what I could do if I wanted to automate this, I could just make them fall, maybe. But I have noticed a strange thing. Like, honestly, I would think this fall would be enough to kill mobs, but I've had zombies jump off of it. Like, before this was here, they would jump off of this all the way down there to the bottom and survive it. So I don't know if maybe fall damage works differently, or if just the mobs are OP. Because I could have swore it was like a 24 fall or something like that to kill them. But I don't know. So what I'm probably going to do is just do it manually. I don't mind on occasion, grinding up some ender pearls. With this sword, it's like, a couple kills and you got a stack. So I think I'm going to leave it manual for now. And then once we get into Woot, we'll do some automatic mob killing things once we get into the Wither and also the soul shards, but yeah, so I think that's the plan. If you guys have any preference or something you'd rather see, if you want me to do manual farms or whatever, do let me know. But I think you guys are really going to love Woot. It's a lot of fun. So yeah. So anyways, I do believe though that I'm going to end it there. I know it's just about wrapping up point. I'm going to keep playing with trying to figure out what's causing my vanishing act on materials. It's not reserved to a single chunk. It's not reserved to a single mod. It's just things are vanishing. So I don't know. I don't know what's causing it. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, as always, be sure to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And like I said, Applied Energistics next episode. I can't wait. I love that mod, and we're probably going to get pretty crazy with it in this pack. And yeah, so I hope you guys join me for that. And until then, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I hope to see you guys next time.